What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, as always, Mr. Martin115, joined by my lovely dance partner.
Hello, everybody. I am Carmo. Welcome back for another week.
And once again, he's back. He is our lovely editor. He is our lovely... Well, actually, he's got his own show now, so he's got many titles. Mr. Will is back.
How's it going, guys?
I act like it's back as if you missed an episode. I think you've been on every episode so far since you've started.
Yeah, since we were really on for that one episode, just because we needed somebody.
You're stuck with me now.
Yeah.
And Carmo still has no idea who he is.
No, not sure.
No.
Not sure. He kind of looks like Emmett, though. He's starting to look like Emmett, so I'm just going to call you Emmett from now on.
If you put like the hair really fucking short, you could.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
Emmett wishes he could grow a beard like yours as well, though.
Poor Emmett's gonna listen to this now and be like, why am I getting bullied another week and I'm not there?
He's catching shreds.
Yeah.
Emmett is letting us down on the last couple of weeks. We have a really fun episode planned that we can't record because it's not fucking available.
Pisses Carmo off here. How many? Can I ask you? So we're not going to tell you guys what the episode is. This is week 4 now, is it? Week 4, week 5? We've not been able
Since
to.
I've thrown out the idea, probably since we've gone to record the episode, I'd say it's probably week 3. Yeah.
It's gonna have to be at the sit down. But just ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the FiveMarks Pro Wrestling Podcast, your weekly podcast here. We this week are kind of going back to our old roots. We are kind of, because of Emmett's fuck up, stuck for an episode, so we're kind of going to chat some wrestling, just chat some shit for an hour 10, 15 minutes. And we're going to start that by not chatting shit, but there's some sort of show with some sort of giveaway.
Now that you mention it, you remind me, right? It doesn't ring a bell. Is it? It's September 1st, I think, isn't it? It's coming back to me. Hang on. September 1st. Where is it on? Dolan's Warehouse. That's it. In Limerick City. Hard Knocks Undeniable. Back again. Undisputed World Championship match between Sammy D and the returning LJ Cleary. September 1st, Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick City. But that's not all. Hopefully this clip gets put up on my last week one.
Don't call me.
We have 2 tickets going for that show. All you have to do is when you see this clip on Instagram, you'll actually probably hear me saying this on Instagram, is you have to send us a picture or comment underneath, if you can comment underneath with pictures, showing us that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and tell us your favorite match to happen in Hard Knocks to date. Competition closes on August 1st. I think we agreed on last time.
You said, yeah.
Which gives everyone enough time to kind of get in and get your chance to win the tickets. 2 tickets are going. So if you've missed out on a Hard Knocks show before, maybe they are a little bit expensive every now and again. It's hard to get down. We do have 2 tickets going. So September 1st, Hard Knocks Undeniable. Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick City.
I want to throw this in as well. In your comment, put down how many tickets you want. So this way, if you're just looking for 1 ticket, we can give you 1 ticket and give it to somebody else who might be looking for 1 ticket. If you want both, we'll give you both.
Yeah.
So put down how many tickets you want with a screenshot showing that you're subscribed to the FiveMarks YouTube and your favorite Hard Knocks moment in the nearly 2 years Hard Knocks has been around. It's been around about a year and a half now.
Though,
Just over a year and a half. Not only has Hard Knocks got a show coming up, but July 20th, they just had a show last week. RCW returns to the PAV for -1. And this show, they've got a fucking beast coming in big demos. So tickets as of recording are on sale now. If you want to get yourself down to the PAV, check out some RCW wrestling. July 20th, go to RCW at RC Wrestling on Twitter or Insta, believe they're the same, and pick up a ticket and get down to see some Cork wrestling. Carmo, what
But
else is coming
also,
up?
we do have a couple of other shows coming up. On July 26th, back up in Fight Factory, we have the Fresh Life Summer Party Explode. It's going to be Team Elja against Team Fabio, which I'm really, really excited for. We've also got confirmed that CBL will be defending the Irish Junior Heavyweight Championship on that show. Already confirmed for Team Fabio. We have Martin Steers and Renzo Rose, two big partners to have on his side. So July 26th, Fight Factory, the Summer Party Explode.
Not only that, I know so many shows going on. July 7th, NLW returns for the Summer Bash with Carmo's favourite match type,
No, I love it.
an over-the-top rope Royal Rumble. Carmo, you were there for the Rumble last year. How much
It
fun was that?
yeah. That was so much fun. And the reason I think it was so much fun is because we didn't know what to expect. It was not kind of majorly announced for it. I think like Justy might have been announced for it, and maybe someone else might have been announced for it. But like it was just kind of surprise after surprise after surprise. And like like Be Cool came out at like number 3 or number 4, which was a huge surprise. Excuse me. Joe Cabaret came out towards the end as well, which was like another huge surprise. And it was just, it just got better and better as the show went on. It was really, really good. Really, really good.
So if you want to have that little fun experience and go see a Rumble, get your tickets at NLW Ireland on X. You can find the link there to get your tickets below. And obviously, we got to give some love to OTT, who have 2 shows coming up. Obviously, Scrappermania, we all know about Scrappermania in August, but they have the Sanity show coming up with Eric Young, Big Demo. What does Axel go by?
Axel Tischner.
Axel Tischner. Sanity are coming to Dublin. July 14th, you can get your tickets there. And actually, my favourite thing that they are doing that's coming back, OTT Road to the Top. I love 2-night tournaments.
Yeah.
Road to the Top last year, as much as a lot of people did not like it, I actually really, really enjoyed it. I love having a night of a tournament. This one to be OTT's King and Queen of the Ring.
I believe the female winner or the women's wrestler to win it gets a shot against Martina at Scrappermania.
Indeed. I believe it's the same. It's not the same for the men, is it?
Which?
Is it the same for
No,
the
it's not
men's?
the same for the men. No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so anyway.
But before the Sanity show, July 6th and July 7th, Road to the Top returns, King and Queen of the Ring. Trust me, 1-night tournaments or 2-night tournaments, because I know they did the 2 nights with the tag title tournament last year. They're so much fun. I really, really fucking enjoyed it. Go check it out. Have some fun with OTT. And if it's a great show, you can thank us. If it's a shit show, you can blame Will.
Right.
He's the one that promoted it. But do get your tickets. Check out all the Irish wrestling that's going on currently. And we'll see you at, like, what? Half of them?
Maybe a little bit more.
Exactly. But you can definitely find us at this other show. Oh, God.
What was it again?
September 1st.
1st. Gordon's Warehouse, Limerick City, Hard Knocks, undeniable. The Hard Knocks World Championship, undisputed. There will finally be one Hard Knocks World Champion. Sammy D against the returning LJ Cleary. September 1st, Gordon's Warehouse, Hard Knocks, undeniable. Be sure to get in with your chance to win 2 tickets.
Now that all the sellout stuff is done, lads, it has been absolutely crazy wrestling wise the last few months, to be fair. We've we've been treated to a fucking not yeah, like a Europe WWE show every last like 6 weeks between Backlash and then Clash of the Castle this past weekend. AEW had their Double or Nothing pay per view. What 2-3 weeks ago? Like it has been a crazy, crazy, crazy few weeks.
It's been a bit wild, all right. Like there's a lot of wrestling going on at the moment. Like, because even when you're looking at them again, I think WWE have another pay per view in only a couple of weeks. I think Forbidden Door is coming up at the end of the month, which is about a week, 2 weeks away. So it's just there's a lot of stuff going on. Like no matter which corner you look around, like there's wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. And I think in the last like 2 weeks, or even this month, like I think last week we had like I think there was like three New Japan shows. We had Dominion. There was a Noah show, a big Noah pay per view that was on the weekend. A Clash, as we said. We have Forbidden Door coming up around the corner. Like there's just so much going on.
Because
So much.
because we've already kind of spoken about this man, and you brought up Noah there. One man who's very fucking busy at the moment, LJ Cleary,
Yeah.
teaming up with the fucking Wolf Dogs.
Yeah. Making his New Japan debut at Dominion of all shows to making that as well. Like Dominion is one of New Japan's biggest pay per views.
Like, it's crazy. Like a year ago, we were kind of sat here being like, "This man's a ticking time bomb." You know, it's someday it's gonna strap the rocket and send him off, and we're here. Like, we're at this kind of moment because like we see as well that Noah are working with WWE. They just announced AJ Styles will be going over next month for a match. That only gives us big hopes that we could see a beautiful, good-looking guy on a WWE programming.
It's possible, but even if that doesn't happen and he stays with the Noah side, there's still a possibility that he could be in the ring with some WWE guys. Like we've seen, like Nathan Frazier go about the place and kind of like defend and fight all over. Like he's been in All Japan, I think he was a couple of months ago. So like even in like a Nathan Frazier against LJ Cleary and Noah, sign me up. Like
Even Charlie Dempsey he did a Japan show,
that's who
and
it was, Charlie. Yeah,
he did the Bloodsport, didn't he?
he did blood sports as well. Yeah, yeah.
Which in a basic, like, it's a crazy time, and one thing that we definitely I want to get into this is the partnership of NXT and A, because this has made amazing TV programming. Not that NXT was fucking bad, but it's made me want to really watch NXT weekly. Like I stayed up as of recording last night to watch one debut in particular, and the pop alone was so fucking worth it because you say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Where's your clap, Carmo? Will did it.
I couldn't be arsed. I couldn't even hear your ears like that.
Will did it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What did we think, Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian? I don't want to sugarcoat Frankie Kazarian being on NXT last night, being in the Battle Royal. Obviously, I was very disappointed with Joe going out very quick. It makes sense for TNA storylines, because it was Frank Kazarian that did it, but like Kazarian making it then to the final four.
Yeah, it's cool to see it. Do you know that kind of way? It is really cool to see it, but I hope something becomes of it as well in a way, because like at the moment we've seen like the only major thing that we've seen kind of happen is Jordan Grace go up against Roxanne Perez at wasn't Battlegrounds, the one before, whatever. Anyway, at Battlegrounds actually. And we see I can't think of her name. Tatum something.
Tatum Paxley.
She went up against Roxanne Perez, or against Jordan Grace at the TNA pay per view. So I'd like to see more of that with a possibility of a big title change. going to one of the other shows. Do you know that kind of way? Like at the moment, like as again, like with the Jordan Gray stuff, that's kind of all that we've seen. Having Joe Hendry in NXT, it's cool, it's big, it's huge, it's a nice pop, it's a cool moment, especially for Joe. Having Frankie Kazarian in WWE, who like I don't think he's competed in WWE since the early 2000s, which he had like maybe 2 or 3 matches. Is really cool. It's cool to see someone like Frankie Kazarian back, or not back in WWE, but in WWE. But I hope it becomes a little bit more rather than just these kind of offhand appearances. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like I put out a tweet there earlier on, being like, how long until we see a TNA World Title match on NXT TV, on WWE TV, or even an NXT title match on TNA TV? You know, like
Yeah.
the one thing I'm looking forward to is when we can get a Josh Alexander over, and we've already got Ethan Page on NXT, the Return of the North. I'd love that.
It's possible. Yeah. It could be new tag team champions.
So, and like you have one champion over in TNA, one champion in NXT. It would be fucking brilliant. And then would it transitioned over to main roster type stuff? I very much doubt it, but it would be fucking cool.
You'd never know though. You know, you'd never know. Like there's names on that TNA roster that like are huge that
Mm.
could head into that main roster no problem. Like again, I go back to Jordan Grace. Like we saw her at the Rumble, and people knew who she was when she came out of that Rumble, which is the big fear when it comes to WWE. A lot of times is like NXT will have a more kind of I'll call it like a wrestling audience. Whereas WWE main shows, especially with fans going there in America, it's always kind of a WWE audience. Do you know, the kind of way who might not necessarily know of a lot of people outside of WWE. It's different when you go over to the kind of European market where kind of we have like our indies and stuff like that. So we know a lot of guys from that or when they coming and going. Um so yeah, it'd be interesting. Like you could see someone like Moose to go up against like Seth Rollins for a TNA title. AJ Styles is surely going to go back to TNA for a stint.
100%.
Nearly has to. So there's so many possibilities. So many possibilities.
See, this is where I'm confused at. So I watched Royal Rumble live. I seen Jordan Grace coming out. I didn't even see the title wrapped around her waist. And then you looked at it and I was like, okay, how do you have a TNA superstar on the Royal Rumble WWE show? And how is she just walking out with the TNA title? Because we were always told the forbidden door is closed for WWE. It's never going to happen. You won't see any wrestlers. But remember what's his name? One of the Highlanders, the ginger fellow with a TNA show,
Yeah, yeah,
Spot.
yeah,
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 yeah. I
yeah.
And
know.
then he got released by that, and I was like, okay, that'll never happen, blah, blah. Saying that, then we got Roxanne Perez basically saying, oh, send out whoever you have, I'll fight anyone. Jordan Grace reappears again. And then we had Ethan Page coming out of nowhere. Then we had Frankie Kazarian in the Battle Royal with Joe Hendry. So it's already on top at the moment. What else could you do with these TNA superstars? Or if NXT invades TNA, kind of like an old wrestling thing, how can you top already? Is there going to be some better stuff coming out now in the next few weeks and that? Or
You send in the dancing moose. That's how you make things
Could
so
happen.
much better.
Could happen.
I
But I think what's interesting as well is like all this stuff has started to happen now that dare I say his name, Vince is gone. But like a lot of this stuff did happen back in like kind of the 80s, 90s type era. Like there was a big deal there with like I think it was All Japan that they had a big deal with it. Like Vince was a personal investor at ECW. And we saw twice on WWE TV ECW kind of invasion type style. One was like in the mid 90s when things were very separate, you know, the kind of way there was no like invasion angle or anything like that. Like Jerry Lawler even went over to ECW TV. So we have seen these kind of partnerships. So to have it kind of back now again is great. And like we've obviously seen AW and New Japan, which is working really well for the two of them. We get to see some big New Japan names over in the American scene. Because as we all know, it's not exactly 100% easy to watch New Japan over here. Like
yeah.
so to get them to see on AW, which isn't exactly 100% easy to watch here either, um, is a great thing. So like it's good for wrestling because you get to see these kind of matches that you thought would never be possible until like Moose's contract is up and then he possibly signs for WWE. So like for wrestling in general, it's a great thing.
I mean, like, you
So,
go on.
sorry. So we have NXT TNA. You have AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling. You have the announcement that Noah made a few 3 days ago, July 16th, wasn't it?
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
Saturday, just gone, yeah.
And WWE X Noah. Could we potentially see, I don't know if it's going to risk business with other companies, WWE X New Japan?
I think you could.
At the
There's some.
moment, no. At the moment, no, I don't think so, just because of the AEW deal.
Mhm.
But it's possible. It is possible, but I just don't see it at the moment.
Don't you dare take away my dreams of seeing Shingo in a WWE ring.
Yeah, look,
Um,
might still happen.
um, like you go back to 8 years ago, when AJ Styles was on Edge and Christian's whatever the fuck it was called show on the network.
The E show or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were doing like this fucking spinning wheel
The
gimmick
ENC show that
thing.
totally exhausting us.
Carmo was a big fan.
I was
Um,
actually.
that spinning wheel that for like different questions, and they were like, "Oh, will we talk about that show that AJ spent most of his life on?" And he was just like, "Oh, we're talking about that show where I spent most of my career." Blah blah blah. I was like, "No, we will never talk about that," because it was like back then it was like they'll never talk about TNA. They'll never fucking do anything with TNA with any other company ever. And it's like it's been a year and a bit
Mhm.
since the man got kicked out, and already we're seeing wide ranges of partners. We kind of saw it in the beginning, like years ago. It's back in 2016 with ICW and Triple H showing up there,
Uh,
and letting Pete Dunne defend the NXT UK title in like places like OTT, in Progress, in fucking wherever. Letting them defend the title around there, and even letting guys show up.
you might be able to remember. I can't think of the tag team. Was there not a WWE tag team in the house show in Progress and they won the tag titles?
Karen will probably know that more than me.
Off the top of my head, nothing I can think of, but it's
Was
possible.
I remember there was a tweet that went around, and I don't know what tag team it was, and everyone was going ballistic. And people start this going back to say 5 years
Probably
maybe.
fucking if it's Progress, probably Trent and Tyler Bay, maybe. I don't know.
That would
I
make
don't know.
sense. Yeah.
It was someone, and people were going mental saying, "Oh, the Progress titles are coming to WWE," and then they basically gave them up and was like, "Technically, can't do anything with them."
Definitely Tyler Bate and Trent Seven.
Definitely Trent Seven. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Trent Seven involved there, anyways.
Well, look, if Trent is listening to this and he wants to come on the podcast, we don't mean that. It was probably like, I don't know, someone else.
Oh no, we're never gonna get that photo. He'll never sign my if Trent wins, we write sign again. No comment after that,
He'll,
Cameron.
he'll never send me another towel again.
Forcefully too.
Yeah. Good
Um,
salesman.
but it's a like crazy fucking batshit stupid time that we're in of wrestling at the moment. Um, where like you have all these fucking companies working together and trying to make a fucking, whether it be a better fucking business for us or just a better business for fucking them, who knows? But all I know is I'm fucking loving it. Joe Hendry showing up last night was the like I popped. Fucking following this man since 2016 when he was the prestigious Joe Hendry, having his prestige stable of him, BT Gunn, and two other guys I can't talk about. So like it's fucking brilliant to see him finally, because I put out a tweet sometime in 2022 being like, how is this man not signed? This man has the charisma, he's got the funny entrances, everything. How the fuck is he not signed? And then he got signed by TNA, and I was well happy, and now he's showing up on fucking WWE TV, and I'm like, that's my local hero, that's my guy.
You
My local hero from Scotland.
He's the
so
local hero, Carmo.
you're saying that you're happy to see Joe Hendry sign with TNA, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We'll say a year down the line, Joe Hendry's like, "Look, just let me go. I'm not I'm not bothered with TNA anymore. I just want to break and try something new. He signs with WWE full time. He skips NXT, goes straight to the main roster. Do you think he can keep the whole gimmick with him?
I
That
believe.
he's like singing songs about Cody Rhodes saying, "Oh, you were in New Japan, you lost, you cried, blah blah blah, your dog, this and that." Do you think he could hold that whole gimmick
Oh yeah.
while holding that WWE
You can
Championship?
stick him in any fucking thing and it will work. As I said, my personal favorite version of Joe Hendry is the prestigious one. That whole gimmick was fucking brilliant. He can play
Mhm.
such a good heel. Even he transitioned that over to ICW. I would love to see a heel prestigious Joe Hendry in WWE. Keep his, I believe thing, say his name. Um, but one thing I know that I really, really want, Mr. Bray, sir, one last time, can we book Joe Hendry in Dublin, please? Thanks. I didn't get to see him the last time he came. I think it was Cork or Limerick when he came last time. I didn't get to see him, so I'd love to see him one more time. On the Dublin show, Wolves is fucking stacked. Wolves doesn't need another match, and please stop trying to get me to buy a ticket to go to Wolves. I much appreciate it. Connor Mills was very close to making me buy one. Can we get Joe Hendry Dublin, please? Thanks, Joe. Just wanted to throw that there. But yeah, that's all I want to say on the whole crossover fucking situation with all these different
Mhm.
fucking companies. Carmo, what do you think? What's going on nowadays?
That's a big question. There's a lot going on nowadays. I think we kind of like have to nearly start with Clash in terms of kind of like
Oh
WWE
my
stuff.
god, how brilliant was that? Where's my CM Punk jumper?
Oh, I can't. I just can't. I really can't. And I get it from the storyline purposes and where it's going to go, even though Drew quit on Raw. I do get it from the storyline, but to bring him over to do two pay-per-views solely based around Drew McIntyre and have him lose both of them.
I'm
The
hoping
Wales
for
one,
three.
the Wales one is the Wales one, but to do it in his home country and still have him lose is just I don't know. Wasn't for me.
In the
Um,
in the words of Mr. Mark Goldberg of our Weekly Controversies, shout out to him. He shouted me out this week. Look in my eyes. What do you see? CM Punk refused to count to three. It was
Yeah.
glorious.
I mean, I
I
hate CM Punk as it is.
You love him.
So this is only making it worse for me. Like, but like to have Drew, like,
I'm gonna buy you a life-size statue of CM Punk. I might just get you CM Punk for Christmas.
you can, yeah, burn it. We'll do for firewood at Christmas or something.
You're gonna burn Punk himself?
I don't hit me.
um
But like,
I seen
it shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened.
I seen a TikTok. I think it was last night, just going through my viewer page. Someone compared this to Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. That when Shawn wouldn't do the 1, 2, 3 in
It
the
was Wade Barrett that started that.
and then someone went off it on a podcast. I forget the podcast name. I wish I remember. And he was like, "So Bret quit. Drew said he quit. Shawn Michaels refused to count for Bret. CM Punk refused to do that, and it's an ongoing. He cost him the title and ongoing. I'm not comparing saying that CM Punk, Shawn Michaels, or Drew's Bret, but do you see the picture happening? Would it be that kind of thing coming now?
Oh my god, who's gonna be Goldberg in this situation? Who's gonna retire Brett? Or not Brett, fucking Drew. Ryback?
Please, me. Oh.
Oh,
I love that we both think that he's useless. um, yeah, it was way Barrett that fucking started that, and I laughed when he said, "Look, I thought there was three ways I saw the match ending on Saturday. One was Punk helping him win the title,
mhm.
uh, because oh, you won in your hometown. Well, that was because of me. You would have fucking lost in your own hometown if I wasn't there to fucking help you and kind of turn that kind of like good moment back on its arse. Just so Punk can take the title like away from him. You know, he who giveth can take it. 2 was, which we got, Punk screwing McIntyre and he's the reason he lost. And 3 was just a clean win. I actually was okay with what happened. It makes sense storyline. Look, Drew storyline cannot get Punk out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Punk lives rent free there. So even like Damien Priest told him to focus on the fucking match coming up, he was still going on about fucking Punk and this and that and the other. So it made sense storyline wise. I know, like, my personal to be like, imagine you paid that money to be there because they promoted the whole show over Drew McIntyre and you believed he was going to win. Tough shit. Life's a bitch. You know, like, they didn't promote this as if Drew was going to win this. They promoted that Drew was going to be there. Drew was there. You know, he lost. Twice, I didn't really care. This time, I was more happy because there was no fucking sing-along. That was really weird. The end of the first clash. But
I don't think they showed that on TV, though, did they?
I think they did they not?
I don't remember. I don't think they did.
I'm fully sure they did,
yeah.
but they might not have. That was really, really weird. No, I think they did because they had it up on their social media. I don't know. But to lose twice was hilarious to me. Look, I've been very, very clear on this. I'm a story guy. I prefer stories in wrestling. Once that makes sense to me storyline wise, I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's why I prefer WWE over AEW. Now that I hate AEW, I watch AEW. Just I would pick WWE over because they're storyline based, whereas AEW is wrestling based.
The amount of hate you're going to get for just saying that, by the way.
I know, right? Yeah. Even though I justified myself. Well, that's it, lads. I'm cancelled. Claire is already putting out that tweet like "fuck Martin" from the FiveMarks. Carmo has always been the best. So Robbie Max is going to retweet that with "Hope the Carmo." But I was happy with the result. I get it. People are mad. They paid X amount for a ticket, but as I said, oh well. You know.
I don't know if you remember, but I actually called it in the group chat. As soon as Alba Fire and Isla Dawn won the women's tag team champions, I said it. Mm-hmm. It was a done deal. It was kind of fairly obvious. Like, we needed a Scottish talent to get over. I think we all knew Piper Niven wasn't going to beat Bailey just because Bailey's kind of on that bit of a run now. So it was either Drew McIntyre or Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. And I don't think even anybody saw Isla Fire or Alba Dawn and Isla Fire winning against Drew or against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. So to have them come out as victors is really, really cool. But yeah, like people know my opinions on Punk, and if you don't want to know them.
Big Punk
fan. I'm a pretty big fan of Drew. Like the fact, like how much Drew did for WWE through the kind of COVID area. It's kind of like John Moxley in AEW there for that kind of 2 years of a stint that he really like worked hard and was put that company on his back. Like Drew was the same through COVID. To not have that moment come back to him, I know will eventually he's after signing the contract. The quit thing I think is only kind of a story, but who knows? So I think he will have that moment again. Whether it happens in the UK or not is a different story, but I think he will have that moment again, and I can't wait for it. But I think what makes it just if the first clash hadn't happened, or like if Drew didn't fight Roman for the title, if it was Drew against, I don't know, Sheamus in just a banger match, I think people would have been a bit more okay about it than what they are. But I think the fact that it's the second time it happened, like it never happens that way. It never happens 2 times.
No matter what.
Never, ever, ever.
Drew could have won the last one, but people would still be as pissed as they are now because it's Glasgow.
Yeah.
Do you know, we're in the Hydro, which is big history place for wrestling in Scotland with ICW. Drew has been in the Hydro. You know, it would have been a storybook, but it didn't happen. It did not happen. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I was very, very happy. I was very much enjoying the backlash. I got once again to post my little edit that I made of CM Punk, which I'll post it as many times as I need to. I don't know by the time this comes out if I'll have it put together and edited, but I'm currently working on reactions from Mark and Aaron who were at the show, who got reactions from fans, and I very much enjoyed watching all of them. So if that is out, you can go check it out on our TikTok page, FiveMarks Pod. If it's not, look forward to it. But yeah, I very much got to enjoy the backlash, and I stood up just for the backlash at the very end. Fuck France. I had my own backlash here in fucking Ireland.
Speaking about champions and the title reigns and that, do you remember the video you sent into the group chat of Triple H speaking to Lita?
Yeah.
So I follow that guy. I'm going to say his name. His name is at Wrestle Archive on TikTok. He does unbelievable edits, and he recently made one about Cody Rhodes, a young Cody Rhodes walking down the ramp when Orton had the spinner belt on him. Now and Cody was looking at him it was the way his eye level was, and then they showed a picture of Randy Orton look at Cody Rhodes. Are we going to see mentor versus student?
I'd love to. I know you want to say
it. This comes into a long-winded story, and I'm not. Mike, guy I used to work with, people might know him by other names. I'm not going to mention the other name. We used to debate this a lot. I'd love nothing more than for Randy to beat the 16-time world champion. I'd love Randy to be the first person to get over that. I think he currently sits at 14. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
I
think he currently sits at 14-time world champion. I would love nothing more than for Randy to become 17-time world champion. Nothing more. To beat that record. Maybe even 18, because Cena will probably come back. 14, yeah. Cena might even come back and win one more, so even 18. I'd love nothing more than for that to happen. And even better, I think, would be a case of this is where the long-winded kind of stuff comes into it, and this is where the kind of long chats come into it, which I miss. Shout out to you, Mike. What the ideal scenario would be for Randy and Cody to have, I'll go back to and kind of say an all-style feud, kind of like a Cena and Edge type feud, where it was kind of swap and change on the title. One might hold it for 2 or 3 months, and then swap it. Might swap after like a month, it might swap after like 2 months, it might swap after, whatever. I'd love to see that happen between Randy and Cody, to where Randy can get to a 16-time world champion or even 17-time world champion. And then at Mania, have Randy versus Cena for the world title. Have it be Cena's last match.
I think Cena has said, though, I could be completely wrong, I'm making this shit up, that he doesn't want to beat the records. He doesn't want to be that guy.
No, but not even for the title. But both of them, I believe, have said that they'd like to have one more match at Mania. I don't think they've actually, I think they've only ever had one match at Mania, and it's been a triple threat.
24, wasn't it? Triple
H. 24, yeah.
1 second. Orton and Cena. Yeah, so 24.
Mm-hmm.
See, Orton fight.
Yeah, I think everything else was. Yeah, I think everything else was like Rumbles and Survivor Series and Raws and SmackDowns.
That's it. Yeah. They've only ever had one match at Mania, and it's been a triple threat.
So the way you were speaking about Orton with the potential rival against with Cody, like the old Cena and Edge thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see current Randy Orton the way he is now, like where he's going?
Yeah.
Or would you want that stick out to come back?
No. I love that like 2010s Randy Orton, the guy who
Mhm.
was like punting people in the head and being like that absolute, like it's the wrong word, and I don't know if this word is like a bad word or phrase is a bad word, but that kind of like serial killer kind of thing. Like
We
I
cancelled.
really enjoyed that time, and it brought excitement because you were like, who's going to get kicked in the head this week, like.
Mhm.
And then you had that whole story like with the McMahons, Steph,
Oh,
H, which absolutely got bottled by a terrible match at Mania 25. Um, I love that Randy Orton, but the Randy Orton at the moment just looks like he's having so much fun,
mhm, mhm,
and that's the Randy that I like. I think if you can kind of intertwine, if you can kind of bring in that element of 2010 kind of Randy Orton to current day Randy Orton, I think you'll have a great Randy Orton. But my only other problem with it, this is kind of the point of the episode, I suppose, is they're in such a tricky situation with Cody because you have a guy in Roman Reigns who's held that title for a little over 3 years, I think it was, for a finish. Um, and then you have Cody beat him at Mania in what took him two chances, and had to bring out the likes of Cena, The Undertaker, and those kind of people to help him. You can't just have him drop it willy nilly. It has to be like a big occasion. Maybe Orton's that kind of guy. Orton is the one that kind of like, if you want to look at it storyline point of view, Orton is the kind of the one that trained Cody, brought him to where he needed to be until Cody
mhm.
went off and did his own thing and tried to discover the world and so on and so forth. Came back, got his kingdom, and now you have Randy Orton looking there as well. But I'd love, and if you were to go to grander scale of that, I'd love to have Orton, Cena, Mania, Orton as the 17-time world champion, Cena coming in for his last match against Orton to become 17-time world champion. Orton wins, Cena retires. But the other problem with that as well is I don't know if you can go into the first WrestleMania after this year's WrestleMania with Cody not being champion.
Now,
Okay.
I would love that, and I'd love to go into the whole Cody Randy thing because I gave you a legacy and I could burn down your kingdom. I think, especially fucking Orton said that, that's gonna be the hardest fucking lines Orton could say to Cody. Um, who do you book to go over then? Would you give that to Randy then to get his 16th title, or
Me personally, yes. But that's kind of been like an early a big fan of Randy. Like you look at it and you're kind of going like I think Charlotte's like a 12 or 13 time
we don't
world
talk
women's
about how many
champion.
fucking
We have to talk about it. She's like a 12 or 13 time world champion. She's at least got three more left in her.
please
Absolutely,
God she
she's going to
doesn't.
probably get the 16 time as well. You look at who else is kind of on the roster, and like I know probably the likes of Rollins probably has a couple of more years left in him. Reigns might have a couple more years left in him, but after winning the title for 3 years, I don't know if he's ever going to win that title again. He might. You look at those kind of people, and even look through the past, like Austin, I think is like a 5, 6 time world champion. Rock has only won it like 5, 6, 7 times, maybe. Taker has won it like only 4 times, like that kind of way. So you look
Hmm.
at that, but like no one has ever beaten that 16. I know Ric Flair claims he's actually a 21 time world champion. We'll forget about that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at anybody to beat that record, and like you look at Flair, who was consistent from like the 70s on till the kind of 2000s, like that's a long run of like whatever 30, 40 years. Like, and you
Mm.
look at Cena, who everyone's like, oh, a 30-year long career, and they're right for about 20 of them until he went off to kind of Hollywood and started making movies and taking more time off. But then you look at Randy, who debuted the same year as Cena, and like bar injuries has been there consistently. Hey, he's gone off and made his movie or two, but he said it himself that this is what he's in for. He's not looking to go to Hollywood or do anything else. He's a wrestler. He's a pro wrestler, and he's willing to work WWE every week. So personally, I think if you're looking at anyone to beat that record, it's Randy Orton.
Can I ask you, at what point do you insert Ted DiBiase into this?
Absolutely never. Ted DiBiase is probably in prison. We can't include him at all.
Oh, I'd love to hear that theme song. They gave him such a banger just for him to do something stupid.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on Spotify. You can listen to it then.
Ching! I come from money.
Um, Okay, so you spoke now I announced Squid's Comeback Corner.
Uh-huh.
I asked a workmate of mine to be a future guest because he grew up during the Attitude Era and all that, like he lived it. And I'd love to hear him talk about wrestling. He's like all of us, he's a big nerd when it comes to wrestling. So we were talking about everything. So it was announced that the King of the Ring winner, the male and the female both get title shots.
Yep. Oh, fuck. Nia Jax is a title shot. Fuck me.
At SummerSlam.
So SummerSlam's coming up in 2 months, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Somewhere
August.
around August, so I presume it's
Yeah,
about the same again, yeah.
yeah. So he made a point which I like. They're building up Walter as this undefeated machine. He went he
Gunter.
re- he went ran through. Oh, sorry, Gunther. Just you so used to it.
Just in
And
case, like, you know, we don't want to get copyright strikes or like.
sorry, Gunther. And he was ran through the NXT UK, came onto the roster, held that title for ages. So if he picks Cody Rhodes, or if he's all good, Damian Priest, yeah, if he doesn't drop the title at Money in the Bank, or either of them do, are they going to screw Walter over? Gunter, sorry,
You could say
make
Walter,
him
it's fine, it's all right.
to make him less of an animal now, or what are they going to do with? See, this is where I mean, he,
This is what it goes. This goes back to literally what I just said about Cody. Cody's after beating a guy who's held that title for 3.5 years, one of the most dominant champions in professional wrestling history. Whether he defended it that much or not is a different story, but one of the most dominant champions in professional wrestling history. You can't have you like Cody needs to drop it on like a big occasion. Don't get me wrong, Gunter's a huge occasion. Gunter's been running that roster for the last 2 years at least. Like he's been putting on great matches. He's held that intercontinental. He brought that intercontinental back to relevancy. I will add. Been on an absolute monster of a run. So if he was the one to beat Cody, everybody would accept it. My problem is if Gunter wins that title, he has to hold it for at least a year and a half. Has to.
Yeah.
Because he's that kind of a powerhouse. He absolutely has to. And the problem is then is you're going to have the whole story of Cody trying to get back to the title, plus new challengers get back to the title, and it's just going to all intertwine with each other. Whereas whereas on the other hand, if Cody beats Gunther, Cody continues on his run and he does these kind of matches until maybe a storyline gets set up at some point. But where does Gunther go? He can't go back to the IC title. He could have a look at the World Heavyweight title, but it seems like there's plans there for that. This is where WWE's at a great point at the moment because it's back. They've always had like 10 top guys, but you can't have top guys that are doing other things that are completely different to a world title. Undertaker, as I said there a few minutes ago, is a great example. For a 30-year career and to only have 5 world titles is it's not a lot for a 30-year career. So I forgot what I was even going to say. It's hard. It's a tricky one to decide of who's going to win it because you get like if Cody loses in just kind of like if Cody loses by like a DQ, we'll say someone low blows him and does their finisher and wins. It whereas it doesn't, it slightly takes away from Roman's reign. Do you know that kind of way? Or like Cody's beating of Roman. So it gets a bit tricky. I don't know. It's Martin talk. I'm rambling here at this stage.
Well, I was gonna kind of move you guys on a bit. As well, I just want to say to people, you can check out Will's new show, Squid Combat Corner. Was it Spotify or were we doing YouTube exclusive? I can't remember.
Spotify exclusive.
Check it out on the FiveMarks Spotify. Because one thing I want to bring up to you guys, because obviously one thing that was kind of asked to Punk in the post-show conference was about a Hell in a Cell match. Possibly with Drew McIntyre. Punk was like, oh, I don't want to be in a fucking Hell in a Cell, I'm old. Pretty much. But in October 5th, rumors are going around. WB are looking to bring back an old pay-per-view in the form of Bad Blood, with the Hell in a Cell match being the main attraction. And now we know what Triple H is like with Hell in a Cell. Has to have a rivalry that makes sense. Not like fucking Vince where we'll do a fucking pay-per-view once a year and we'll just throw matches into it. Triple H is very big on the story has to add up. Who do you throw into that sort of situation? Do you do Drew Punk? Do you see what's going on with Cody at that time and go from there? Maybe like a Randy Orton or a Solo Sikoa? You know, fantasy book that yourself.
This thing before we talk about the fantasy thing. So Triple H said eventually Bad Blood's come back. He knows the Hell in a Cell. He took years off his body basically because of the matches he did. Do you bring the Hell in a Cell back with the red steels, or do you go back?
Absolutely not. Fuck no.
Look,
Jesus
I-
Christ,
Oh my
why are
God.
you even asking?
I had no
Thank you,
issue
thank
with
you.
the red, but like, no, I
hate
wouldn't.
I hate it. I hate it. Like, I know I've probably given them a plug, but I'm giving them a plug. WWE 2K24, 2K. Me and my friend Aaron played a game. We do online matches against each other, and I refuse to do the Hell in a Cell with them because I hate seeing the red. I don't like looking at it. It's just it makes no sense. Is it to do with blood? Is it to do with demonic stuff? I don't like it.
Carmo, do your fantasy booking powers.
This goes back to what I was just talking
Oh,
about.
we're going back to this again. God
But
damn
it does go back to what I was just talking about. I don't know. I really and truly don't know. You have so many different options because you'd imagine by the time Bad Blood comes around, and I'd rather hold it off for Survivor Series for a possible War Games, but you're probably going to have like a Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa kind of rivalry going on, the other kind of way. So you could do that in a Hell in a Cell, maybe, but I think it suits better for War Games because you could have kind of Roman, the Usos, and I'd love to actually see Jacob Fatu go with them rather than Solo.
Yeah.
Because Solo will probably have Tama
I think
Tonga,
that's the way it's going to go, though.
and he might have
Hikuleo.
Talatanga, Sammy D. No one picked up on that, no?
The
Sammy D.
Talatonga.
Talatanga, Sammy D. From Tala. No?
Oh, fuck off.
Talatanga.
The Sammy D actually went over my head because I was thinking of Sami Zayn.
No.
I was like, does he mean Sami Zayn?
No. Hikuleo, I think that's his name. Is it Hikuleo? Hikuleo, yeah. I always call him Hikuleo, but yeah, you could have that as a War Games, which I think would work much better, and then integrate kind of Roman Rock for Mania, which I know they're talking about doing Rock and Cody, but I don't want to see Rock and Cody.
Yes, you do.
I really don't. Trust me, I don't. So it goes back to that point. Randy and Cody, I think, would be a great one for Hell in a Cell. It could be if Randy beats him for the title. It could be the kind of return match for the title. I think another one that we've kind of slept on that we haven't really talked about. You could do Drew and Punk, which is probably going to run as far as Mania. I wouldn't be surprised. Another one that we haven't kind of talked about, and I think it could be the payoff. The only payoff, and especially for us Irish fans coming out of Clash, is the possible Finn Balor against Damian Priest.
Ooh.
For the world title. That could pay off in Bad Blood as well.
I mean, like, why are we not booking Dominic Mysterio versus Liv Morgan inside here, or just put Dominic and Liv inside the fucking Hell in a Cell?
You could do Rhea and Liv.
Oh,
Rhea. Oh, Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea, whatever you want to call her. My pronunciations aren't great, lads. I don't really speak good English. You'll get used to me.
Why are you bullying him?
I'm not bullying him. I thought he said Ray.
Leave him alone.
Sorry, God.
Justice for Carmo.
Thanks. You could do that in Bad Blood. I'm kind of excited to see Bad Blood back because it was one of those pay-per-views. If you look back at the matches, like you obviously have the first ever Hell in a Cell match between Shawn and Taker, the debut of Kane. You look back at like Shawn and Triple H in Hell in a Cell, Kevin Nash and Triple H in Hell in a Cell, Batista and Triple H in Hell in a Cell. You know, there's a lot of like really, really good matches came out of that. Like I remember
the Fiend versus Seth Rollins.
That wasn't that Bad Blood.
Nor was Batista versus Triple H.
Was it Bad Blood? Was
It
it?
wasn't.
Are you
Was it
sure?
not
Backlash.
Vengeance?
Was
I
it
thought it was a
Backlash?
Vengeance.
In the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, it was Backlash.
I was going to look this up because I'm nearly sure
I thought it was
Bad
Vengeance.
Blood.
No, because it was in Vegas. It wasn't Bad Blood. It was either Backlash or it was No Way Out. It was
Bad
not
Blood is
Bad
literally
Blood, though.
right here.
I don't think it was Backlash anymore.
Vengeance.
2004,
Vengeance, was it?
Professor Sean. Yeah,
Yeah,
it probably was
2005.
Vengeance.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't Bad Blood. I thought it was Backlash. I thought it was that. No, they did Mania match, then Backlash, and then it was Hell in a Cell, and then Batista showed up on SmackDown as the draft pick.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
but again,
Yeah.
another great Hell in a Cell, Seth Rollins versus The Fiend.
Not a good Edison at all.
It was the best Hell in a Cell I've ever seen ever.
Doesn't tie into what we're talking about either.
Oh, fuck you. Continue on.
We're talking about Bad Blood.
How much bad
Me and
blood?
you have bad fucking blood.
Blood.
You'll see the fucking bad blood that I fucking have with somebody next week when the next fucking Hard Knocks interview comes out.
Ooh.
So look forward to that.
Oh yeah. That's one or two
yeah,
people.
and
I don't know
remember,
which.
yeah.
One or two people. I don't know which.
Not no, it's the other guy, not the
Yeah.
not the cunt, the cunt. Yeah, more like smaller, kind of like
Yeah.
down there.
Oh, the little goat. Yes.
Goat? No, he's not a goat. More like a donkey.
He looks like a goat.
But yeah, so
I say this as I'm like a big fan of his.
You started the whole fucking chat like.
I'm not taking credit for it. Robbie was the one that got it out there.
You started it though, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not taking credit for it.
But yeah, so that was like I wanted to talk about the bad blood there. I want to bring back an old segment, but before I do that, because I kind of want to do that as we're leading out. Has anyone got anything else they want to talk about?
I had like a load of ideas in my head before we started, but now I'm like nothing.
This way, we should jot them down like we used to.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Because
anything?
we're coming towards the end, Carmo, what's that giveaway we're doing again?
Giveaway. Oh yeah, September 1st, Hard Knocks. Undeniable. Finally, we're going to have an undisputed Hard Knocks World Champion. As Sammy D goes up against the returning LJ Cleary. September 1st, Dolan's Warehouse, Limerick City, Hard Knocks. Undeniable. And if you want to win 2 tickets for that show, all you have to do is find me saying this on Instagram. I presume it's me saying this on Instagram,
Hopefully.
somewhere in a clip on the FiveMarks page. And if you go into the comments, put up a picture of you being subscribed to the YouTube and give us your favorite Hard Knocks match, moment, whatever it is. Winner will be announced on August 1st, I think we've decided. And you will be in with a chance to win 2 tickets to Hard Knocks. Only term, I might have said this already, and it will probably be in the description of whatever video we put up. If you were not subscribed to the Hard Knocks YouTube, you will not be in with a chance to win.
Oh, we're adding that now?
No, wait, no. FiveMarks YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Jesus Christ, now we're doing that? All right. Well,
Hard Knocks on the brand. And be sure to check out every other show coming up in Ireland.
Just to clarify, subscribe to the YouTube channel, FiveMarks Pod FiveMarks on YouTube. Take a screenshot, comment on our Instagram post with the screenshot and how many tickets you want, because if you just want one, happy days, we can give away the other one to someone else. So yeah, 2 tickets giveaway. Go enter it now. FiveMarks Podcast on Instagram. Go check it out. Right, so I want to bring back an old segment that we used to do on the early days of the FiveMarks, the On This Day segment, where we kind of bring in stuff that we've seen on this day, how many years ago, whatever it may be. One thing I've got here, on this day 5 years ago, the HBIC Mia Yim made her WWE debut on NXT TV. Now, one of the OC members. Carmo, what have you brought for us?
In 1986, Sabu defeated Rob Van Dam in the main event of ECW Hardcore Heaven in Philadelphia. Tommy Dreamer was victorious against Brian Lee in a weapons match. And they also... That's pretty much it.
That's fair. One shout out I want to give, because I I remember being across at my mate's house when this news broke and being just absolutely confused. 5 years ago today, the passing of Lionheart, who, if people don't know that, still undisputed ICW World Champion. He'll always be the World Champion. Passed away 5 years ago today. I loved the little tribute that Piper Niven had, having his name on her knee. I thought it was great because obviously those two were best mates. If you haven't checked out a Lionheart match, I definitely would. I would especially check out his rivalry with Joe Hendry. That's one of my favorite rivalries. And I wasn't gonna do this because I didn't cop on until we start doing this. But on this day of this coming out, happy birthday, Will!
Is the episode dropping Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, my birthday's Friday.
No, it's not Saturday. Why the fuck did you tell me 22nd then? That's why I have my calendar.
21st. I
No,
told
we're
you
gonna
no
have to edit this out now.
No, we don't. We're keeping it in. Happy birthday, Will!
Happy birthday, guy. I don't know.
And for my birthday, Martin's giving me.
Fuck on.
Yay!
A sad feeling. We'll see, maybe. It was going to be.
Hey, look, Will, that competition is open to you. You could win 2 free Hard Knocks tickets.
He fucking wins them anyways.
All the work I do.
Yeah, it's true. See, Carmo, he's got ways around things. This is how I stop myself from having to pay out 4K.
That's fair.
8K now.
On this day in 2020, as part of the ongoing TV angle between the two, Donald Trump sells Monday Night Raw back to Vince McMahon just 2 weeks after buying it and 1 week after running a commercial-free show.
And that was your On This Day segment.
Wait. We might have one more. Might have one more, 2 more, 3 more. In 2013, at ROH Best in the World in Baltimore, Maryland, Jay Briscoe retained the ROH World Championship title against Mark Briscoe in the main event. Which is cool to see. On that same show, Matt Hardy pinned Kevin Steen in a no qualifications match.
Is this ROH?
Yeah.
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy defeated Kevin Steen.
God damn, I knew he was in ROH.
Also, birthdays for today. We have Tetsuya Naito.
And obviously, birthday.
And also John Tenta, also known as Earthquake.
Ooh.
Birthdays today.
I don't remember us doing birthdays, but
that is all for today. This day in wrestling.
So here is where I'm ending this episode, lads. Monday Night Raw. The Wyatt 6. I mean, we've got to talk about it.
That's actually, it was one that I was going to bring up, but I forgot about it.
How fucking cool was that?
Do you know what? There's a word that I'll use that I think isn't often used in wrestling these days. And the word in particular is unique.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't think any of us have ever seen before. We've seen shades of it and kind of like the lichens of it, but I don't think any of us have ever seen something like that. To have, we don't know the names of them yet, but I presume Sister Abigail to kind of crawl out through that door with that kind of scary look was really, really cool. To be sent kind of backstage by that point, and the cameraman walks out, and you see what I presume is Rambling Rabbit, who looks terrifying, by the way. Absolutely terrifying. To see the layer of bodies all over the place as they come through the curtain into kind of where I suppose the kind of production room is, where kind of a lot of the, like, Triple H and a lot of the producers would sit. To see Mercy the Buzzard. I presume that's Mercy the Buzzard.
Yeah.
And then to kind of go through and kind of see that Rambling Rabbit kind of gas mask type kind of figure. To see Chad Gable absolutely busted open.
Dead.
Yeah,
RIP Chad Gable.
Yeah. Yeah, seems to be. And then to see the ultimate return of Uncle Howdy was just masterful. I think what got me as well is we all knew it was going to happen, and it was kind of set for July 17th, which was when Raw was. Um, there was kind of when the lights kind of went down in that kind of like the Fiend kind of style. I love how both of these guys are just watching their phones as well. No
I'm
one cares
trying.
about them.
No, I'm listening to you, but I'm trying.
I know,
There's
I
a
know, I
I
quote
know.
was
I
get,
want
I
to
was getting the
make.
name up so I don't ruin the character.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was.
Um,
Will will
I
probably
think
know the
what
name
kind of
here.
got me as well is when the lights went off for like the Bray Wyatt kind of thing or the Fiend type thing. We kind of knew what was going on, but then when the kind of piano hit in of what would have been Bray's new team, I think everyone just
What's the
kind
new
of
team?
I don't know. There was a bit of an emotion there, do you know, that kind of way, and then going through and seeing the characters like, wow, this is really cool. Oh, look at that character. Wow, this is class. And then when you get to Uncle Howdy, and he kind of like arm stretched. It kind of reminded me of like a Fiend Bray Wyatt, like the old Bray Wyatt would
Yeah.
say, that Bray Wyatt that used to kind of look on the rocket chair, the way he used to walk, and the kind of hands going. And it, like the pop that Uncle Howdy got then as well for it was insane. Really, really cool moment. Really, really cool.
So I was trying to find her name, but I can't find her fucking TikTok for shit. She does a whole bunch of like reacting stuff for pay views and shows. Like she's big on.
Wheezy,
Is it Wheezy?
Blonde Wheezy or something like that.
You might be
I
right.
ever,
Well,
I ever
I
heard
know.
Instagram.
Yeah, I know. Like she has a mad following, but she made a very very good point. Like obviously people are kind of speculating at the moment. Other than Gable, we don't know who's there. It looks like Gunther's there. It looks like Mello's there. It looks like fucking. It looked like Braun Strowman was there when they were going out and caught Huskus. That looked like Braun. She made a very good point for Gunther, for Mello, and whoever else was named, that they all have one thing in common, including Gable. They all turned on their family. So obviously, with Uncle Howdy taking over from Bray, he's all about family. You know,
Oh,
Gable turned on Otis, turned on the Alpha Academy. Gunter kicked out Giovanni. Mello got rid of Trick. You know, if that is Braun, I don't know what that would be there. Maybe because he left the
He did
family.
leave kind of the
Yeah,
Wyatt family and
in
went off and did his own
2016.
thing.
Yeah,
And turned on it was well, he had a match against Bray, like he had a couple of matches against Bray.
exactly. So if that is true, that's fucking brilliant. What a fucking thing to say. I was there listening to this going, wow. You know? It goes back when we were speculating the Fiend character and or maybe Goldberg beat him because Goldberg was the one person that like, oh, everyone else was insecure and shit. Maybe Goldberg wasn't or whatever. I thought that was a fucking brilliant point. That was so fucking cool. I kind of wish I stayed up for it now, but I knew it was going to be at the end of Raw. I just knew it was going to be the end of Raw. I was like, I'm not staying up till 4 a.m. because I'm fucking tired. Absolutely brilliant fucking debut. The sparks coming off the backstage and everything was just visually so fucking cool. Um, at least 5 people are dead now. One of those being Chad Gable, R.I.P. What I'm interested in is this something that happened, or was this all not that it never happened, but like is some sort of like fantasy thing? Is Gable really hurt? Maybe Gable comes out and it's like, well, I don't know what the fuck that was. That wasn't me. Maybe it never happened in their head. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now. The one thing as well is a lot of people are going like, who's the sixth person? Could be Alexa Bliss. I myself would rather there be no sixth person, and that's Bray's spot. That's Wyndham's spot. He is the sixth.
I think there will be a sixth. I think Alexa will fit in there at some stage whenever she's kind of ready to come back. But I think it still will be known as these are the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
These are the Bray Wyatt Six. These are the people he picked. This is his thing. You know, that kind of way. And this, and by the looks of it, this is what we were supposed to get I don't know when it was, 2 years ago when kind of Bray and Howdy kind of started.
Yeah.
But I think it, like in a weird way, it's kind of like makes it even better now. I don't want to sound that as bad as like, oh, the fact that Bray passed and it's actually better now. I don't mean that in a way at all. I think it'll have more of an effect now. But it's sad that Bray isn't there with him because Bray added so much. Like we're all major fans of Bray, and like
Mm-hmm.
everything that he did was so good. But it was ahead of its time in a lot of ways because people didn't. I don't know, people didn't appreciate it nearly as much as what they should have at the time. Like his original character with the Wyatt family, amazing, absolutely amazing. And some of the promos he got, even though most of them were nonsense, were fantastic. The
Mm.
Fiend character just didn't get what it deserved. It was bad timing because of COVID and everything like that. But there was nothing you could have done about that. If the Fiend was there now, man, it'd be running the show. You would have no Cody Rhodes, you'd have no Damien Priest. Drew McIntyre wouldn't have lost at Clash of the Castle because he probably wouldn't have been at Clash of the Castle. Fiend would have been running the show.
I would have loved to have
Um,
gotten that new fucking Fiend as well.
That which,
The new Fiend.
yeah, yeah. And the interesting thing about it is we never after Fiend dropped the title to Roman, we never got to see the Fiend back, which means we never got to see Bray against Roman.
mm.
If that had been Fiend against Roman or the Wyatt Six against Roman, we could have had a shorter Roman Reigns title run.
I seen something, but I don't know if I'm reading in too much. There was a shot behind their back of the head shot, like all you could see is the back of their head. I'm not going to try to pronounce tag team because my dyslexia will totally mess it up.
Hmm.
Do you remember Eric Rowan, Brody Lee had their own tag
Bludgeon
team where they went on
Brothers.
Bludgeon
Bludgeon
Brothers,
Brothers? Do you remember Brody Lee wore that gold skull mask?
Yeah.
Ramblin' Rabbit had the back of his head. I don't know if I'm reading in too much, but it was a nice touch if it is to show respect to Brody Lee and Luke Harper from WWE. If it is the case, because someone put up on TikTok as well or Twitter, I seen it was such a nice touch because he was the original White family with Bray and all that. So it was a nice
I
touch.
if they've done that,
yeah.
I'll love it more.
Look, we all know who all the characters are, if you want to put
Mm,
it that way. But like, we know that our Rowan is obviously Ramblin' Rabbit.
mhm.
Like Rowan has been there since day one. He is Wyatt family, like that kind of way. So to have him back in there, I think it's really really special, and it kind of brings in Bray and Brody Lee
Brody.
as well. And obviously you have Taylor Bo Dallas who brings in that Bray side of things as well. But it's
Mm.
really cool to have, especially I think that the two of those in there. I know Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas is going to be in there either way, but to actually specifically bring back Eric Rowan for that role is really really special.
Mm.
I can't wait to see what happens now. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that it's just something that Bo can look at, Taylor can look at, and go, "I've done him fucking proud,"
Yeah.
because all this in the end is to continue Bray's legacy. And if I'm gonna go back and watch that now, if there is something there for Brody, I'm only gonna fucking love it more because those two were heavy, obviously influenced in the Wyatt family. The first two members, if you will, I believe, I think was Bray, then was Bray and Luke, and then was Bray, Luke, and Rowan. Um, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens next. It'll be interesting to see where they go for SummerSlam, and if Howdy's in a rivalry, Uncle Howdy for fucking Hell in a Cell would be fucking brilliant. So
Yeah. But there is that lot of questions to it. Like if they wrestle, do they wrestle in the masks? Do they take off the mask? Do we actually see who they
I
are?
think it'll be they all take off the masks, but Howdy doesn't.
Yeah, I can't see Howdy doing it because he has effectively kind of, I won't say wrestled with the mask on, but he's got involved in a ring with the mask
Mm.
on. So I think
Yeah.
that'll stay the same. Is there a sixth member? Isn't there a sixth member? Is it Alexa Bliss? When will they get added? Who are they going to go after? It's an interesting thing. That thing of the family thing, kind of betraying your family is really, really good. who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But it's exciting times, and like for
Mm.
for an episode of Monday Night Raw that did happen that particular night, incredible. From end to end, it was just absolutely blockbuster, which we haven't seen in quite a while.
Like, there's so many ways you could do it now. Speaking of the White Six, like, if they're not going to wrestle in a mask, as we said, keep Uncle Howdy with his mask on.
Yeah.
Would it be like Ramblin' Rabbit will say, will Uncle Howdy have to go over and give him like the permission to take the mask off and take it off for him, or does he just take it off himself like that? Like, there's so many ways to go with it. Like, if we give, as I said, Uncle Howdy the power to take the mask off Ramblin' Rabbit to allow him to like rage out or something. Like, there's so many ways we can go from here with this family thing. I'm really looking forward to
I
it.
personally think that they take the mask off and he's all fine. You hit the bell and it's doing all Vestus on it.
It's just
Biscuits and gravy.
Festus and Jesse. Oh my god.
But that's all. We're obviously going to wait and see what happens. Who knows? Maybe next week in the podcast, 2 weeks in the podcast, we'll be talking about what happened on Raw. If anything else happens after this. But lads, anything else you want to throw in before we?
I think that's a good note to edit on, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, sorry for spoiling it, but go and watch it.
If you haven't seen it,
absolutely
it's
incredible.
fucking Saturday. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, but you know, people, work, life, busy.
Oh well, tough shit. like all you Drew McIntyre fans out there that got angry, tough shit.
Will, promote your show. I'm finishing this episode.
CM Punk's the best in the world. Drew doesn't deserve the title.
All I said was promote your show. That's not your show. Promote your goddamn show.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so Squid's Gone Back Corner is coming out. I'm going to drop the episode on Friday just for myself because of my birthday. And then there's going to be 2 episodes coming out a month. And looking forward for everyone hearing it. And can't wait.
Well, after what you just said, you just lost your second guest. Martin, give us our socials.
Make sure to follow us FiveMarks Pod on TikTok and X. Follow the TikTok. We got some content coming out for your faces. FiveMarks Podcast everywhere else. If you do not know what I've just said or how to spell any of it, it's all right there, right beside Will to his left. Right there. So go follow all the socials. Go tell us about how great we are and make sure you enter our giveaway to win yourself some Hard Knocks tickets to Hard Knocks on September 1st. LJ Cleary, Sammy D for the undisputed Hard Knocks World Championship. Carmo.
Thanks everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you did enjoy the episode, let us know because we might do more of these once a month, once every 2 months, something like that. But for another week, we have officially been the FiveMarks Podcast, and we are officially ding, ding,